Welcome back. So adding the ID is really not that complex. I want to, instead of using the entity framework this way, we're going to try and go into the order entity. I'm all the way down into this layer. I'm going to go into the order entity. And here I'm going to add something besides the customer. And that's going to be called the customer ID. So it's going to be an int value and then customer ID. Now this is actually all I had to do to get the ID in there inside the data access layer. So now whenever I'm pulling something, I'm actually getting the ID in this separate piece of information right here without adding the include or anything like this. The system, the entity framework now knows behind the scenes if I have a customer ID and a customer representation, I guess this guy is probably matching the foreign key called customer ID. Hope that will make sense. Let's try and actually use this because we also need this, of course, in the business logic layer, and we need it inside our converters to make this work. So I'm jumping from the customer ID now. I hope that this will be populated automatically. And then I jump into my order business object where I have the customer business object right now, and I'm actually giving you a new access point here called int customer ID. And again, it's pretty much the same thing as I did in the data access layer, but it will provide some new opportunities compared to the data access layer. Because here I can decide now, when I return an object, I can decide if I want to use only the ID or I want to send back the entire object. Now notice we're in the business logic layer now. We're inside where the logic happens, where I decide as a user of the logic layer, should I grab all information or should I only grab part of the information? This opens up for the opportunity for anybody using our unit of work setup to decide how much data they want back. I don't have to change anything in the repository pattern. You can just go and get the data you need using the unit of work. I'll give you examples of this soon. So we also need to make a few changes inside the order converter, and what I want to do for now is just add the customer ID right here equals, and then I'm just going to say order dot customer ID. There we go. So now I've converted it one way, and I'm going to do the same down here to convert it back. I'm actually again going to have my customer ID here equals of course the order's customer ID. So now it kind of seems that we have this duplicate information about the customer ID, but the cool thing is behind the scenes somehow I'm getting out either a customer ID or the entire customer. But now I don't have to worry about this inside the converter, and actually later on we can remove one of them, but let's just keep this simple for now where I just convert both right here. And let's try and save this now. We don't have the include, we don't have anything. Let's see what we actually get back now. I'm going to restart the application and let's have a look at what we get back now with these few changes we just did inside the business object converters and inside the order, and see what actually happens. Now notice when I do a send now, I actually get the customer ID back. That's the only thing I'm getting. So notice compared to all the information we had before where we had all the customer information, that he might even have contained more information about something else. So that would have expanded into a huge object maybe. But now we're just getting back the ID. And again, this is a choice I make if I want to get back the ID or I actually want to get back the entire customer. That's a choice that I can make later using my unit of work. So I'll show you that soon. But notice that's kind of what I wanted to achieve here. Now I'm not getting the entire customer back, I'm just getting his ID back, and that's actually enough for me to later on, if I want to, actually get more information about this customer. That's enough to do that. So see you in the next lesson where we'll play around with this some more. Have fun.